Professor, I'm outside Newton District Court, and I'm prepared for entry. Okay. Now, I've been to court before, but I don't really remember it too well. So, how am I thinking it's going to be like in Newton District Court? A somber tone, not much, energy in the air, kind of just a drab, going through the motions, fresh out of the shower that you didn't want to take type of energy. In some nice clothes you don't want to be in type of energy. It'll be quiet. It'll be weighted. We'll see if I'm right or wrong. We'll see what type of insights this visit paints. I'm not sure if I'm excited, Professor, but I'm ready. I'll report back soon. Professor, I'm going to be honest. The event that was going on in the courtroom was over as I walked in. It's unfortunate. I'm going to be headed to Waltham District Court. I'm also going to jaywalk here. Don't prosecute me, Professor, please. I saw a few nice sights, a little Memorial Rock, the police headquarters, a little American flag. They put me through the metal detector. There was a little poem or something on the sidewalk and a dilapidated water fountain. So, nice adventure, but I'm off to Waltham District Court now. So I'll report back on how this adventure progresses. It's a doozy, Professor. It's a doozy. I'm here. I think it's going to be all the same things as Newton District Court. Weighted, drab, sad maybe, somber. Like we're trudging through the experience of American jurisprudence. I'll report back soon, Professor, hopefully at the last courthouse. Maybe I'll ever visit. We'll see. Professor, I hate to inform you, this is officially a wild goose chase or maybe a turkey hunt given the holiday coming up for some due process of law. We struck out in there. Something was just finishing up again. I'm headed to Woburn District Court now. I'm hunting for some action. I was nervous they might throw me to the ground, cuff me up if I took my zip up here off inside. So it was blazing in there, so I had to wait. Didn't know if this tank top was going to invoke fear and have him take me down and have me be the one in front of the honor. So, yeah, I'm off. I'll report back soon. Hopefully, third time's a charm. Hoping I don't strike out. Professor, I'm at Woburn District Court. This is my final attempt to see some due process of law smackdown. Hopefully, I don't strike out and see what the verdict is. Professor, I'm back home from the adventure, and I hate to say it, but we struck out. Up at the plate, up at bat, 0-for-3. No action, but I was present walking around the courthouses, and I got down on my little piece of paper here a few thoughts based on my adventures today. First one reads, being in the building, meaning the courthouses, for the wrong reason gives them a very different tone. They weren't the most modern buildings. They weren't colorful, of course. They're very quiet. That's what another one of my bullets says. And I feel like, I was kind of just strolling around a building when I was in there today. But if I were in there, and the space had a different connotation because I was on, let's just say, the other side of the law, I think it would very quickly become energyless and just drab and just not feel like home at all. But for me, it obviously wasn't home. But I was just kind of strolling around a building, pretty regular for the most part. Next one reads, actually I'll go with, this one reads, despite the offices for parole, and other juvenile misconduct, I didn't feel threatened walking around, right? Whereas somebody, could have broken the law and then been there, to tap into the parole office. And despite that, I didn't feel threatened, didn't really feel in danger. Was kind of just strolling around. Maybe I'm naive, Professor, I don't know, but it didn't really seem like the type of environment which tickles the hairs on the back of your neck, if you will, and keeps you alert. I was kind of just strolling around there in my PJs, my quarter zip and my Nike Dunks. Kind of just a walk in the park. Let's see what else. This next one reads, people seemed low energy, kind of like they were waltzing around. just going through the motions, whether they were in a suit or other attire. Even the security. One guy was watching videos on his phone. I was like, well, all else he needs is a cheeseburger and fries, Professor. And he'd be at home or something on the couch, kicked up, but he was kind of just on his phone, managing the metal detector. Took him a second to even realize I was in front of him and had entered the building. So despite that, like I just said, I felt safe. But anyway, let me not digress. People didn't really seem energetic, regardless if they were in a suit or not. They were kind of low energy, just going through the motions, kind of like they didn't necessarily want to be there. I don't know. I'm not, I didn't pass the bar. I'm not practicing like you are, but I'm not a defendant. Yeah, it just seemed like, people weren't really too enthused with the environment, the building, the atmosphere there. And it did give it a bit of a lifeless vibe, like I said in the car, a bit drab, a bit somber. So that was interesting. Courtrooms were interestingly inert when they were empty. I said, the room must feel charged and people must be present when things are going on in them. It was interesting how I was kind of just looking at a skeleton. You got that big chair for the judge up there, Your Honor. You had your benches, your tables, your microphones, all your standard stuff that you see in trial videos or TV shows. How about that? Yeah, but it was just like a skeleton of a process, skeleton of what could be going on in there. And I felt like there must be a pretty significant shift where you do have the energy of something at stake, and a negotiation, air quotes right there, of something significant, those unalienable rights bestowed on man by his creator. How about that, Professor? How about that? Shout out Thomas Jefferson, Tommy Jeff. But yeah, it must feel charged when there's something going on in there, and people must be present and dialed in, whether they're the defendant, the prosecution, the lawyer for the defendant, the judge. That was something which was interesting. I don't know, it felt like I was looking at some type of artifact, some type of museum exhibit. Just kind of like, hey, this is a courthouse, this is what everything looks like, and then you'd have your little plaques with the descriptions. So yeah, that was interesting. So that wasn't a comprehensive list of takeaways, but for time's sake, I've taken enough of your time, Professor. Hopefully I made this adventure interesting enough for you, and I hope I could give you a break from all the reading, because hey, I got $5 that I'm the only student submitting a piece of media. How about that? I'm a journalism student, Professor. You see the mic. We knew I was dialed in when we saw the mic. He's dialed in. I'm taking enough of your time up, but I appreciate you listening. It was a fun adventure. I struck out. It's all right. I'm swinging for the fences next time. If I'm back there, hopefully I'm not, like I said, ever in a courtroom again. No disrespect, but it was fun. Thank you for listening. Those weren't all my notes. I'm sure if I sat, some other things would come to mind, but I'm not going to go too far over the time limit. I'm probably already over, but have a happy Thanksgiving, Professor. If you're viewing this after, I hope it was happy. And next up's Christmas, so I hope that's warm, happy, and merry. I'm signing off.